Hi, welcome to the etmarkets.com webinar on equity investment strategies in challenging times. My name is Anu Thomas and I will be moderating this session. Our guest, Amar Ambani, Head of Research, IIFL, will make his presentation shortly. Thereafter, he will field questions from you in a text chat. You can keep posting questions in the little chat room on the right side of your screen. So stay logged in and pick your money-making ideas.
So good afternoon, friends, and welcome to this webinar. We usually either have text, a lot of text which is written out and sent through media, or presentations that we make during investor meets. But this is a very good initiative that ET Markets has taken through webinars and leveraging on digital to reach out to maximum people. So welcome to this webinar. Pardon my voice a bit because I have a bit of a sore throat, but clearly the market has been in a sort of a dullish phase, to put it very mildly, in the last few months. You look at the loss in the Bihar elections for the central government, the recently concluded corporate earnings, whether it be expectations that have been building recently that the government has not been doing much. All of this has resulted in the market going through times which are not clearly exciting, or what we'd seen in 12 months after the government was appointed. But having said that, I do believe that many of these problems are really temporary in nature. They are glitches which are only there in the short term or maybe maximum medium term. And we will see much better times to come. I am a firm believer in equity investing, and I personally believe that the best is yet to come as far as the bull market is concerned, and the mother of all bull markets will really take shape in the coming years. So we've not seen anything yet, and let us look at these things through different slides that I've put across. So if all of you all can see this slide here, we have just tried and tracked how the market has behaved historically over different periods, and if you can see, the market cycles suggest that there could be a possible rally post this consolidation phase that is going on. So if you can see the screen and maybe my cursor here, we've had a time when there's been a huge rally. There was a multifold rally, and then 1992 was the top of that rally. After that, you saw a consolidation phase, and again a mild rally, the top for which was again in the year 2000. Then again you had a huge rally from about 2003-2004 that lasted till about 2008, which was another top. And again after that, there was a bear phase, and then again the rally which started after the government was elected, the NDA government. 2015 was the time when the Nifty hit a top. So the period that is going to follow is again going to be of consolidation, maybe a bit of downtrend also, if you are to believe what market has done historically, and then will unfold again a mega rally, which I call the mother of all bull markets. And of course, the disclaimer here is that history doesn't necessarily always repeat itself. But if it were to happen, then at least the charts are telling you that the best is yet to come. And while we look at charts, let's also compare it with other data, compare it with other fundamentals, and see if they kind of give you the same answer. So I have a few other to present, and I'll just take you to them. Firstly, before we get into the good news, or what I believe will lead to the next strong rally in equities, let's look at the near-term bad news, as I call it. Near-term because they've been impacting everybody's mind and markets currently, and maybe will continue to do so for some time. So if you look at the near-term bad news, then if you can look at the chart out here, you will see that historically the US Federal Reserve has never ever stopped with either a single rate hike or a single rate cut. It's always followed, it's a pattern which is always followed by multiple rounds of rate hikes or rate cuts. And I think this is a bit of a fear that temporarily people have. In a way, I personally feel that if US Fed was to raise interest rates, it will be something very good for markets because it also kind of signals that the US economy has started to do well. But before we get there and before the rate hike, the markets are bound to kind of be nervous ahead of the event. And I think it will be best in everybody's interest that this event is over and done with. So I think this is one thing which is upsetting the market, in the near future, recently, and may continue to do so in the near future. But I don't believe that, unlike in the past, when the US has raised rates 10 or 12 times, that they will do the same this time. They might just raise interest rates maybe 4 or 5 times, and that too in a very gradual and calibrated manner. So I don't think there's much to fear here. But the best would be if the event is behind us. The other near-term bad news, or the fear that people have, is that of the China slowdown. And I think this should be a bigger worry in the near term than the US Federal Reserve raising rates. If you look at historically, whether China has depreciated its currency or allowed its currency to appreciate, in both cases, it's never stopped at one round of devaluation. They've always done multiple rounds of devaluation to get the right formula. I mean, if it works, for the economy to do well. And given the kind of slowdown and problems that its economy is facing, we believe that they could actually go out and do more round of devaluations of their currency. And if and when that happens, it does kind of trigger a currency war across countries, and that would obviously be bad for global stock markets and India. But I think again, these are all near to mid-term worries which will only give you an opportunity to buy great quality stocks at fantastic value prices. And I think we must constantly be on the lookout for these kind of corrections to lap up these stocks, because when the dust settles, the world will see that India is even a brighter spot now compared to not just every other country but also China. If you would have seen the latest quarterly results, or rather quarterly GDP numbers, India has already overtaken China in terms of growth. And I think next year you will see a complete year of annual GDP growth of India being much higher than China. So while in the short term, all emerging markets will get the same treatment, in the medium to long term, India will be viewed as a bright spot and will get a disproportionately higher share of FII flows. The other fear has been, or the worry has been, now looking at the economy from a domestic point of view, after speaking about the global problems, is that our corporate earnings haven't taken off. And if you talk to a lot of industrialists, they will tell you that things have not really changed too much on the ground. And I believe this is partly the reason why a lot of people think that this government has not done much. But I feel that this will change, and some of them themselves tell us that while it may not have changed, they do see a lot of effort and genuine intention from the government to make things happen. So it's possibly only a matter of time before things change at the ground level. And therefore we believe gradually, as the economy picks up, and also going by the base impact of the last 3 or 4 years, that FY17 will see a revival in terms of corporate earnings. So these are the near-term worries, and these worries, can they lead to the Nifty falling to say 7,200, maybe even 7,000? Maybe, I don't know. But all I can tell you is that if the market goes to 7,000 or 7,200 or even 7,500, whatever the level might be, I would encourage you all to look out and be a buyer and look out for opportunities in such a market, and not panic and look to sell. And while these are near-term worries, I've already told you about some of the also possible positive effects for corporate earnings. But let me tell you some more which I think are interesting and which makes me a firm believer in equities. Let's look at the next chart. You see the fall in inflation, as many of us believe, is not just due to global commodities falling. If you look at this chart, you look at the CPI data, and even that will tell you that there is clearly disinflationary trends in the domestic market also. And while there are some near-term risks to this domestic inflation, I don't think we are going back to a big number anytime soon. So 1 year back, CPI was 10% or so. It's come down to 5%, and I think, notwithstanding the near-term worries or concerns around domestic inflation, that we will stay around the 5% mark, and which leads us to believe, and our economist, who's got it right many times in the recent past, also tends to believe that we are looking at possibly a 50 basis point further repo cut between now to June of next year. And that would be, I think, a very good sign for corporate India and also for markets. And added to that, you will also have a shift that banks will do to marginal cost of funds. And therefore, I think more transmission will happen of the 125 basis point repo rate cut that the governor has already done in the last many months. The other big factor is that our macroeconomic situation has significantly improved, and I think this is a big long-term news. Besides inflation and interest rates, the macro situation, there are tailwinds building. We have a fiscal deficit which is under control, not just in terms of number but also in terms of quality. You have a current account deficit which is significantly under control, and all this means that the building blocks are in place and falling in place for a bull market to come. You look at one other factor which I like is, again, clearly the government measures that happened so far. While many believe that not much has happened, but I think that we tend to kind of either go extreme left or extreme right. I think some good work has happened, and besides that, I feel that going forward, given the kind of historic mandate and intention that this government has, that they will end up doing a lot more. I've taken a printout with me, which I have noted down a host of things that this government has done in the last 1.5 years. I don't know if you have time to read all of this, but just let me read out a few things. There has been transparent auctioning of coal blocks. There have been faster clearances which have been given. Inflation moderating policies we've already spoken about. So again, about fiscal consolidation. There has been a direct benefit transfer through Jan Dhan Yojana, Aadhaar, Mobile, the JAM as they call it. There have been pickup in roads, in T&D focus. There has been increased budget allocation for infrastructure. The hike in many sectors, including insurance and defense. A railway passenger fare hike. Complete deregulation of fuel. A thrust in Make in India. Rationalization of freight distances for national resources, for which work is in progress. A regulator bill, a draft regulatory bill for real estate. One rank, one pension. Hike in allowance for central government employees. Gold monetization scheme. Policy for offshore wind farms. Capitalization of PSU banks. 100% disinvest or 10% disinvestment in Coal India. Mandate given to NHAI for 34 projects which have been cleared. Civil aviation policy, restructuring of power discoms, and these are just some of the long lists that I've taken a printout of what the government has done so far. So I believe that a lot of things are in place and they're only bound to improve. The other factor that gives me a lot of hope is our demographics, and clearly all political parties realize that. So whether general elections or assembly elections, the focus has shifted largely from caste politics to development politics. And I think the other factor is that over the years, we will see a much stronger domestic flow of capital vis-a-vis the FI money that we've always relied on. There are of course some gray areas like asset quality, which continues to be an issue. But I'm happy that the governor has said that banks must try and sort out these issues quickly. But I think largely if you look at the situation, then things seem to be looking up. Let me put another chart across. The size of the economy, of our economy, is set to double in the next 4 to 5 years. And if that happens, I do not see a situation where the stock market and the market capitalization of our stock market goes nowhere. So I think the best of the bull market is yet to come. If you look at in terms of size also, India in terms of market cap is now much bigger than most emerging markets and BRIC nations put together. You can see it on the slide here. And therefore I think India is likely to remain a favorite. The best money is usually made during panic. So while there could be some near-term downside, maybe half of 2016 could be an indifferent period from an index point of view. But there will be many mid-caps that you all can pick up. Look for any correction to buy into good quality and have the patience and discipline in terms of your investing approach. And I'm sure you will reap the rewards. So once again, to repeat, I think the mother of all bull markets is yet to come, and that time is not too far away. So thank you everybody, and I'll be more than happy to take any questions that you all have.
Wow, that was pretty exhaustive. Thank you, Mr. Ambani. It was very interesting. Now, Mr. Ambani will take your questions. You can open your chat room on the right side of the screen and shoot your questions now. You can also post your questions on Twitter at #ETMarketsWebinar.